You get up from the couch, maybe to grab a glass of water, maybe to answer the door, maybe just to stretch for 30 seconds. And when you turn around, your dog is already there. Not across the room, not on their own bed, exactly where you were sitting. In your spot, in your warmth, looking at you like they've been there for hours. You say, "Move," they don't move. Most owners laugh it off. Cheeky dog. Dominance thing, maybe? Or just comfort. But what's actually happening when your dog takes your seat, the science behind it, is something most owners have never considered. And once you understand it, that moment will never feel random again. The obvious explanation is dominance. Your dog is asserting themselves, claiming your territory, showing you who's really in charge. This explanation sounds reasonable. It fits the image we have of dogs as pack animals with hierarchy and rank, and for decades it was the default answer from trainers and behaviorists alike. But modern canine science has largely moved away from the dominance explanation, and what replaced it is far more interesting. Because your dog isn't taking your seat to challenge you, they're taking it because of what your seat contains, and what it contains is you. Here's what the research actually shows. Your seat, the moment you leave it, becomes one of the most scent-rich environments in your entire home. Dogs have approximately 300 million olfactory receptors in their noses. Humans have around 6 million. That's not a small difference. It's a fundamentally different experience of reality. When you sit somewhere for any length of time, you deposit an enormous amount of chemical information into that surface. Skin oils, cortisol, hormones, sweat, temperature, the biological signature of exactly who you are, what you've been doing, and how you've been feeling. Your seat is, to your dog's nose, essentially a detailed profile of you, updated in real time every time you sit down. And researchers have found something remarkable about what happens when dogs are exposed to their owner's scent. Their heart rate lowers, not slightly, measurably. A dog's cardiovascular stress response actually decreases in the presence of their owner's scent, even when the owner isn't physically there. Your seat, warm and soaked in your smell, is the closest thing to you that exists in the room the moment you stand up. So when your dog takes your seat, here's what's actually happening at a neurological level. They're self-soothing. Your absence, even a 30-second absence, registers as a mild stress signal in your dog's nervous system. Not panic, not distress, just a small biological note that says, "My person is gone." And the fastest, most effective way to regulate that signal is to find the place in the room that smells most like you, which is exactly where you were sitting. Researchers studying canine scent behavior have found that dogs don't just seek their owner's scent passively, they actively integrate it with their own. By sitting in your spot, your dog is layering their scent over yours, creating what behavioral scientists describe as a combined scent profile, a blending of your biological identity and theirs. This isn't territorial aggression. It's the closest thing to a hug your dog can give themselves when you're not available to give them one. Think about what this actually means. You stood up, you walked away, and your dog, in the 30 seconds it took you to reach the kitchen, moved to the place in the room where they could feel most connected to you. Not your dog's bed, not the warmest spot by the window, specifically, exactly the place you had just been. That's not habit. That's not comfort-seeking in any generic sense. That is your dog using the only tool they have to stay close to you when you're not there. Researchers at the Institute for Environmental Research and Education found that dogs exposed to their owner's scent showed significantly reduced stress markers, and that this effect was specific to the owner's scent, not just any familiar human smell. Your smell does something to your dog's nervous system that no one else's does, and when you leave a room, they go looking for it. Here's where it gets more nuanced, and this part matters. Not all seat stealing is the same. A dog who takes your seat calmly, settles into it, sighs, and relaxes, that's the self-soothing behavior we've been talking about. That's attachment. That's your dog managing their stress in a healthy way. But a dog who takes your seat and then guards it, growling if you try to return, stiffening when you approach, refusing to move even with a gentle command, that's a different signal entirely. That's resource guarding, and it needs attention. Resource guarding around spaces, not just food or toys, can be an early indicator of anxiety or insecurity that, left unaddressed, can escalate. It's your dog telling you that they feel uncertain about their place in the home, that they're not sure things are stable. The behavior looks identical from the outside. Dog takes your seat. But what it means internally is completely different. A relaxed dog in your seat is telling you they love you. A guarding dog in your seat is telling you they're worried. Consider the evolutionary picture. For 15,000 years, dogs slept next to humans. They didn't have their own beds on the other side of the room. There was no separation. Pack members stayed close. Their scent mingled. Their warmth was shared. What we call seat stealing is, in the oldest sense, an animal doing what its entire biology was built to do: stay near the person it belongs to. The couch is new, the apartment is new, the concept of personal space is new. The need to be close, to keep the scent of your person nearby, to sit where they sat, to hold on to something of them when they walk away, that's ancient. So the next time you stand up, turn around, and find your dog already settled into your spot, don't just see a dog being cheeky. See a dog who noticed you were gone, who found the place in the room that smells most like you, who sat down in your warmth and your scent and did the only thing their biology knows how to do when their person walks away. They stayed close in the only way they could. If this changed how you'll see that moment, subscribe, because next week we're going into something that might be the most emotional video we've made yet. See you then.